Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the live Thursday masterclass. It's so good to see everyone, and welcome on in. If you're here in the Zoom room, welcome on in. It's good to have you here, and welcome to everyone watching online as well. If you're seeing this live, hop into the Zoom room. The link will be in the live chat. But yeah, it's so good to see everyone here today. We are going to be doing another Q&A with Coach Heaven. I see Leanna and Brenda on the call, so good to see both of you. But yeah, good to have you in the call with us. So just housekeeping first off, everyone has their cameras on, which is amazing. And of course, it's a family-friendly environment. And for everyone watching online, the Sell More Offers Challenge is starting next week from Monday to Friday. It is a 5-day challenge starting August 25th. And if you've never been to the Sell More Offers Challenge before, it is a great 5 days with Coach Heaven to upgrade your sales skills, conversations, and really learn how to curate an environment for the sale. And it's a really great week to take action and move your business forward. So if you've not been a part of it yet, we'd really recommend it. The link will be in the live chat and in the Zoom chat as well. But yeah, we are going to get straight into it today. I'm going to pass it over to Coach Heaven for some opening, and then we'll get straight into some questions. So if you have some questions ready, you can put them in the chat or just get them ready. But yeah, over to Coach Heaven.
Well, good morning, everybody. So good to see you guys live on Facebook as well as here in the Zoom room. Again, if you would like to join us in the Zoom room, just put me in the Facebook group, or if you're watching elsewhere, put me and my team will make sure you have the Zoom link. And so it's interesting because sometimes we don't know how valuable what we're carrying is until we step out and put it to the test. Can I get a witness out there? Sometimes we don't know how valuable what we're carrying is until we are willing to be bold enough to be rejected. We're willing to be bold enough to put our neck on the line for somebody else. And the bigger the problem that you solve, the more you can be compensated. I want you to understand that. So today, as we're leaning in to what I call a love seat, which is, I call it a love seat and not a hot seat for a number of reasons. To me, when I'm in a hot seat, I can't think straight. Anybody else? My emotions feel like they're being flooded, or if I am not being thought of as being the highest and best of what God thinks of me, I don't I don't tend to respond as well. Anyone else? Put yes in the chat. And so I came up with the word love seat because I believe that God, because his word says he exposes for one reason only. Isn't that interesting? He exposes what's going on inside of us for one reason only. And that reason is so that he can call us up higher. God doesn't call you out, God calls you up higher to where the air is rare, to the arena in which you are called to. And so we change. How do we change? Well, we change by a number of ways, I think. I think we change by being so frustrated with ourselves that we make a decision. So the word decide comes from the Latin word two words, which means to cut yourself off from any other outcome. And so when we decide that we are going to change, that's our first step. Secondly, we have to stop thinking and holiatizing that somehow, our crucible of change is just us on our lone bride island where we're just worshiping and reading our Bible and never changing. It's really clear in the Bible that iron sharpens iron. We need this process of other people asking us questions and holding us accountable, as well as educating us, right? Education isn't enough. Information isn't enough. If we don't have information, if we don't have iterations while we're having information, we just continue to go around the mountain. Can I get a witness? Somebody put mountain in the chat. We just keep going around the same mountain. And the Lord doesn't want us to go around the same mountain. He wants us to change and be transformed. He wants our mind renewed, but He doesn't just want our mind renewed and our heart renewed. He wants it to take action in the marketplace, take action in our homes, take action in our relationships to see that we have evidence, right? He calls that fruit. In Genesis 1:28, it says, "Be fruitful, do multiplication, and have dominion." That's really the recipe for all of our lives. We are called to be fruitful, do, and to have. Be, do, have. So how do we become? Well, we don't become by reading our Bible and sitting on our back porch and holiatizing and thinking we have changed. That's part of it. We step into the crucible of change by stepping into having someone who is a godly leader in the area of, we're called, our metron of influence, who can help us on the path of mastery. And mastery is a place. So if we look at mastery in business, mastery in sales, mastery in communication, what are some other areas you want to be masterful in? Let's share that. What do you want to be masterful in? Do you want to be able to have excellent conversations with your family? Do you want to be able to persuade and persuade people, right? Have good relationships? So we must go through iterations. These are iterations towards mastery. Well, what on earth is an iteration, Coach Heaven? Well, it's the feedback loop. Somebody put feedback in the chat. That as we do, somebody put do, not be. You don't step out and read your Bible and then somebody gives you an iteration. You do, you take action. You have chats, you have sales calls, you have conversations. You write letters to reach out to people that might be potential clients. There's a whole bunch of things that we're doing in the process as we're growing our business. And as we are doing, we get feedback from a coach, a mentor, somebody that we trust. And trust is super important. Have you ever had somebody give you feedback and you absolutely didn't trust them? And you just have to be quiet and you're listening, but everything in you is resisting what they're saying because you don't have a relationship. We must have relationship before we can pour in teaching, training, coaching into people. We must have that relationship. Everybody write this down. Relationship is the bridge you can drive the truck of truth over. Relationship is the bridge you can drive the truck of truth over. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, it doesn't matter what you are doing. It doesn't matter if you are a relationship coach, if you're a financial coach, whatever your core system is, whatever you're teaching, your training, your product, you are going to be in a relationship with somebody. And if you're not in relationship of some level, whatever instruction you give it's not going to land. Right? You've heard, that if people don't care, right? Like if you don't show that you care first, nobody's listening. I had an interesting interaction this morning. I'm working on an app. I'm actually working on 2 apps. They're very exciting. One of them is for the Kingdom Sales Academy, and it's going to be global, but it is an app in the founder's voice using my system of uncovering the 4 belief bridges and being able to unlock the currency of a client so well that they feel seen and heard and understood. That the whole process of overcoming any objection happens naturally in a chat. The problem with that is that for most people, and that's not a problem for me, but most people don't know how to uncover or unlock what's really going on for somebody. Just think about the last conversation you had with somebody. What's the last conversation you had with someone? Did they ask you a series of questions, or did they say you should? Did they automatically lean in to tell you what you should do without asking you questions? Think about that. And this morning, I reached out to somebody who is on YouTube, and they have incredible marketing. And actually, I have had sciatic pain for 13 months. I know that sounds absolutely insane when I say it. I work out every day my whole life, and I had an incident where I had a massage July 17th, 2024. And that morning, like I always do, like I trained hard, and I've always worked with a trainer. I've always done weights, like I said. And after I had a massage, I could barely walk. Something happened during the massage that caused instant sciatic pain. Never had it ever in my life. Don't have any disc problems, don't have any lower back problems. My core is very strong. I'm not the skinniest person in the world, but I'm very strong. And I reached out to somebody on YouTube who has an amazing marketing. Somebody put amazing marketing in the chat. And you may have heard, which is part truth to this, that if you have incredible marketing, sales will be easy. And I do teach in my Kingdom Sales Academy and to VIP, I teach about how to interact in your marketing as though you're inside the head of your prospect. That we no longer talk surface level, but we talk on a very high level, which is below what's going on beneath the surface. So I want you to think about right now, what's going on beneath the surface for your prospect? What's the real conversation that they're having? Okay, keep that in mind. I'll continue my story. So I reached out to this gentleman on YouTube as amazing training about sciatic. I was so impressed because most people make assumptions. Somebody put assumptions in the chat. Assumptions will kill your business. If you want the fastest way to kill your business, make assumptions about your prospect and tell them what they should do. That's the fastest way to kill your business. And so he does all this brilliant stuff. And I was so excited to reach out to him. So I started, and those of you who know I'm the Sell by Chat queen, and because I'm building an app that's very sophisticated about all the nuances, all the permutations and combinations, all the possibilities of every single question that you need to ask, and anything you need to overcome to be able to bring your prospect safely, somebody put safely in the chat, bring your prospect safely into a truth-telling grace environment where they can have healing. Isn't that what everybody really wants? It doesn't matter if you have financial problems, if you have a sciatic problem, if you have a health problem, if you have a back problem, if you have you want to marry somebody, or you just destroyed all your relationships, if you want to have healing with the prodigal child, it doesn't matter the niche. Every human desires to be seen and heard and understood. Can I get an amen in the chat? And so when we talk at people, we lose a conversation. Think about the last time somebody talked at you instead of with you. I prophesied last year that the word for 2025 that we would see with regards to content is authentainment. I made up the word. You're not going to find it anywhere unless somebody's copied it. But it's authentic entertainment. After going through COVID, and now that we have AI on the move, we are the ones who are to control AI. It's not to control us. And thinking that AI will replace your business is nonsense. It's just like saying AI or ChatGPT is going to replace you as a lover for your spouse. Isn't that ridiculous? Is AI going to be your prayer partner? Is AI going to speak in tongues and prophesy to the nations? I don't think so. And so let's remember that we are the ones that we have been called by God to be fruitful, to do multiplication, to have dominion from sea to sea. We are the ones that are called. So I reached out to this gentleman and I started Sell by Chat. And he started asking multiple questions at once. My number one rule, guys, write down one question at a time. If you're new to Sell by Chat, if you're new to the online space, take heart. Ask one question at a time. right? Go to your husband right now, right? Guys are unitaskers. Maybe women can handle this, but I would even say don't do this with anyone, right? If you tell your husband, go to the store and get butter and eggs and milk, he's good. Then you start saying, and sugar. And don't forget Friday night is pizza night. We're probably going to need pepperoni and we might need mozzarella. And he is already completely lost and has no idea what the first thing was. Your prospects feel the same. They're already overwhelmed by their situation. They already likely either have shame or pain or discomfort, and they want help and they want someone that sees them. And so in the chat, he opens up and says, thank you so much for, responding to this. Tell me. And then he goes in to ask a bunch of questions. So he asks more than one question. He asks a bunch of questions all at once. How long have you had this back problem? What bothers you the most? Well, right away, he's making what, guys? Assumptions. I didn't say I had a back problem. Actually, I don't even, Then he goes into what bothers you the most. And then I say, well, actually, it's been 13 months. And I share about the pain. But I also share that I worked out and did weights every single day until July 17th. And in fact, I've done 198 hot yoga classes this year with weights, doing 2-minute plank, doing side plank. I'm not, I can do all these things. I can touch my toes. I can actually touch the floor flat with my hands. And I can do splits on both sides. So I'm telling him this information. And then he goes, okay, got it. We hear similar things all the time. I don't think he hears that all the time. I think he hears people saying, I sit all day. I don't know why I'm so uncomfortable. I don't sit more than 2 hours every day. Right? And then he says, is it tight bending forward in the morning? Or stiff standing up straight while sitting a while? No, dude, I just told you I can freaking do the splits on both sides. I've given birth to 6 kids. I've worked out every single day, my whole life. He's making assumptions. And what has he done? Everybody put in the chat. What has he done? He has lost the sale. He's completely disconnected because he didn't ask me anything about myself. And I want you to know that part of your be, do, have is that some of you are too afraid to make the same mistake. You're too afraid to share assumptions. You're too afraid to step out and say things and go, man, I messed up. But that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to do your very best. I don't want you to intentionally mess up. But I want you to step out. I want you to go, I don't know how to ask questions. That's your first level of healing. Say, I don't know how to ask questions. I don't know how to ask questions because my whole life people just told me what to think and then they had me regurgitate it on a test. I haven't been doing a lot of thinking on my own. So as we go into the love seat and asking questions, I want you to give yourselves gentle gloves. That's why I call it a love seat. Gentle gloves. What are gentle gloves? What on earth? What is she talking about? Because you give others grace. Let's give yourself that grace for your race. There is enough grace for your race. But you've got to be willing to not be perfect. You've got to be willing to get it wrong, to get it right. If you are going through the learning curve to get to the earning curve right now, if you are on this journey going from 0 or 10K months, whatever it is, and you want to get to 10 or 30K months or beyond, you must first know that you don't know the answers. Ego is a very difficult thing, and it's going to get in your way. It's going to actually be one of the biggest problems you're going to have. It will tell you you know the answer. It will tell you to look good on the outside and not ask questions. But it's the questions that once you ask them, you get feedback. You ask the question, you get feedback. You go out back into the chats or into your sales calls or into the world of business. You do something, some kind of action. And then you come back again and you share with what you did, and then you get feedback again. And these are iterations. And the iterations help you towards mastery. It also helps heal a whole lot of things inside of you because you go, wait a second, I can actually learn this. This is a skill set I can learn. So be willing to go through the iterations. If you're not sure of what your question is, realize I don't know how to ask questions. I don't even know what questions to ask. You know, my husband is an amazing man. He was a software engineer for decades. And he still has that look in his face like, he's like, I don't know what to ask. I know you're going to ask me what questions to ask. I say, it's okay. It's a process. It's a process that you must go through to get to the next level. Allow your ego to die. Allow your pride to get out of the way. And say, I want to have that kind of life. Right? It's one thing to finally receive that you're worthy to make millions of dollars. And it's another thing to learn the skills to be able to do it. There are two different things. Just because you finally receive that, oh, actually, I don't have to work for free or over-deliver or work for people who don't appreciate me. I don't have to do things like that anymore. I can create millions of dollars. And like Ephesians 5:16 says, I can buy back my time by hiring others because the days are short. So as you lean in, think about the guy this morning who just goes into the assumptions. Think about the pastor who just shares with you shoulds. Think about the friend who means so well. Guys, their hearts are all in the right place. But the problem is you will not unlock what's important to your client, your prospect. And that information that you gather from your person is exactly what you need to create your marketing. It's the exact verbiage. Somebody put verbiage in the chat for you to know what to say on a sales call because you talk with them. You don't pitch at them. I recently got invited to a 2-day event from a mentor that I love and adore. And the event was called something pitch to something. And I thought, wow, we don't, any of us want to be pitching. We want to ask questions to uncover the currency of your client because you're likely talking too much. If you find out the most important reason why your client wants to join your program is X, but you talk about A and C and L and M and G and P and W, what are you doing? You're losing your person. If the person I was talking about had said, wow, it's pretty amazing that you're staying that physically active while you're in such pain, I'm just curious, what exercises have you tried that have helped? If he had just stepped out and asked me a few questions about myself, instead of assuming I was like every single other person who messaged them, he would have had a sale. I was ready to buy just by watching the videos. I bought my Porsche without ever test driving it. I knew what I wanted. But there are most sales are lost. I want you guys to understand this. People need between 7 and 11 touch points. Somebody put touch points. So why are they called touch points? They're not called, people need 7 to 11 assumptions. People need 7 to 11 statements thrown at them. People need 7 to 11 touch points. Well, what's a touch point? Well, a touch point could be a piece of marketing that connects to their heart. Remember, hearts over eyeballs. Or they might need a piece of content, but again, uncovers something about them on an emotional level, about why they haven't done what they really want to do. We spend so much time, people spend so much time in marketing talking at people when all day long people are going to therapy and therapists because of all the damage that's been done in relationships of people talking at them and not with them. So why would we duplicate a marketing process where people are not feel seen or heard when we're entering into the AI era where people more than ever are going to want to feel seen and heard and understood? So when you ask your question, it's okay if you're not 100% sure what your question is. Do your best to ask the question. I will help you fill in the gaps without creating a codependent relationship with you. I will help you to learn how to become the person who can ask the questions so that you can do the very thing God put in your heart. And so your family can have all the blessings that you want to bless them with. All right, Matthew, who is ready to come on in?
All right, if you have a question for Coach Evan, you can raise your hand or put it in the chat. I know we have some people here at work, so if you aren't able to unmute, you can just put it in the chat. But if you have a question for Coach Evan, raise your hand and we will get to you right away. Oh, I see Leanna. We'll bring her up.
Hey, lovely lady. So good to see you. I hope that spoke to your heart this morning.
Oh, it was so good. I'm writing
so
like
glad.
crazy.
I was watching you write, girl. I am watching you just blossom and unfold. Everybody put some hearts in the chat because I'm really seeing you rise up to where the air is rare. And you're going to create a business from such a healthy place. Guys, nothing gets me more excited. I want you to know that. Nothing gets me more excited to see you fully become who God's had you to be. Because if you create all the cash flow and you destroy your marriage and your family and you don't connect with anyone, is it really worth it? No. So what's your question, beautiful?
Okay. So I'm going to preface it. I don't want to be codependent. Like I can't think of a question without you.
You're so fine. You're so fine. Give yourself the grace. Give yourself the grace.
Okay. I think I have a situation with two people, and I think that when the coach part of me hears an objection, it goes into all the things I know about the person already or have heard already, and it's instantly wanting to go to all the fear roots and these other things. So that's playing in the background of what's my next question, right? But I thought about what I learned from you yesterday, and I had one lady that I met her in the morning. She came to my master class. She was like, send me your PDF now, and I want to book a 10-minute call. And then she was like panicking and not wanting to get on the 10-minute call because she was feeling overwhelmed in her life. And she was like, I need to fast and pray. So I just messaged her very calmly. And I was like, I understand. I completely understand how that is. Did you get your link for the Facebook group? And I'd still be happy to do a 10-minute call. That doesn't obligate you to work with me. It's just to see if or how I might be able to help you. So she was like, sure, I'll get on a call. So that's person one. And then person two.
You got on a call with her or not?
Actually, not yet. So
okay.
I sent her a link.
Don't go to the next person yet, because I want everyone to see how I'm helping Leanna, because some of you think one-on-one coaching is best, and I'm going to show you it's not, because all of you can see everything I'm about to say is going to help you, not just Leanna. So when you have somebody come into a process or into your life, I want you to write this down, everyone. The speed at which somebody comes into your life is the speed at which they're going to leave your life.
Ooh.
So if somebody comes in hotter than hot, right? So just even relate it to dating, right? If somebody comes in and says, I remember when I was single, I had some guy message me and he sent a picture of himself with a Bible. Like that's going to seal the deal, right? He sends me a picture of himself with a Bible and he says, God has told me, oh boy, I love that one. God has told me that I am going to be your husband. So I just blocked him faster than fast, right? Because I'm a wise woman. The speed at which anyone enters your life is the speed at which they'll leave your life. So slow it down. Anyone says, I want to work with you tomorrow. Anyone who says, I'm flying over right now, here's my money, here's my credit card, I'm going to hop on today, slow down the process. And go through the sell by chat process. Everyone has to go through the same process. Somebody put same process in the chat. They come into your world, you still need to know, right? Remember, you are an advocate. When somebody's coming into your world, you're an advocate. You're not coaching them yet because what is the entrance? How do they have access to coach with you, Leanna, or anyone else? Put in the chat. What is the price of admission? There is a price.
There's a price.
All of you value your oil. Put value your oil in the chat, right? So there's a price to coach. There is a price to coach. So there isn't any coaching because they haven't earned the right.
Right.
Okay. Now, again, in Kingdom Sales Academy, I've reverse engineered every single thing that your prospect thinks and believes and what they need to think and believe in order to buy regarding every single thing so that you never have any objections on the sales call, right? So that's about 20 to 40 total touch points and audios that are crafted. This is what's going to be in my app already created for people.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So when you look at, when you're, this is authority, this is connection. We don't want to be the hardcore closer, but you don't want to be the friend and you don't want to be the coach because they haven't had access to you. In that 10-minute call, you're an advocate. In your marketing, you're an advocate. You're an advocate until it changes to it's a good fit and they've paid the price. Then you have a different relationship with them. I want you to see it, Leanna, as sacred as sex. I'm pretty sure you're not out there sleeping around every weekend. I'm pretty sure you're faithful to your husband. But see how that struck a chord?
Yes, it has really helped me.
That, but talking to people online is the same. They haven't paid the price. So let's remember that, right? So first part is the speed that they enter is the speed that they leave. So slow it down. Slow is smooth. And smooth is fast. That's the way you're going to operate. So everybody goes through the same system. Somebody put system in the chat. Why do they go through the same system? Because you're building a business for your future self, not for you today.
I hear that.
Your future self will have a house manager like I have. Your future self will have your husband work for you like I have. Your future self will have your daughter who's doing all your sell by chat like I have.
Nice.
You will have a team all over the world who is going to be serving you and working for you, and you're paying their salaries. And you want a system that is sustainable, Leanna. You want something that is duplicatable. And you want something that is transferable. So if every single person that comes into your world has a totally different response, that is not something you can hand over to a team member.
I was just thinking about that yesterday.
Okay? Give yourself grace, guys. You haven't hired a whole bunch of people yet, right? I've hired tons of people through the years. So the speed, and then you want to slow it down, and you're going to start sell by chat, and you go through the same thing. Somebody says, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I don't want this, I don't like you, I love you, I hate you, you're the worst, you're the best. Same process. Nothing changes. Except if they hate you, you just block them. Block and bless ministry, people. Block and bless ministry. You start the same sell by chat process, and then you ask her the questions. Just because somebody wants you doesn't mean that you want them.
That's truth.
You go through the process. So design your sell by chat and uncover what is important to your client, Leanna, and uncover the questions so that you know, are they likable? Are they coachable? And can they afford my services? If you don't know those things, they do not get a 10-minute call. Remember, if you're paying $600 an hour for salaries every hour that you are awake, will you think differently about giving 10, 15 minutes of your time to somebody? Yes or no? Everybody in the chat.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Right? Every time that I go somewhere to do something, if I'm going to even get my eyelashes done, it costs me per hour in addition to what it costs me to have my eyelashes done. So I think about everything that I'm doing all the time. And if it doesn't give me a return on my energy or a return on my investment or increase my cash flow or increase my relationships or have me feel closer to God or closer with the people I love or helps my clients more, I'm not doing it.
I'm starting to think that way too.
I see you change, girl, and I'm excited. This is why I'm pouring into you. Guys, I may not speak this directly to the rest of you. Leanna has stepped right into the fire. She has climbed up with both hands into the potter's wheel, and she's going through iterations with me as her coach and the Holy Spirit as the guide. Okay? So you want to slow it down. You want to make sure they're coachable, likable, and for your services.
Okay.
This will reduce, guys, because some of you say, oh, people don't show up for my calls. I have a whole process for that. Because if people feel seen and heard and understood by you so well, they are going to be chomping at the bit to get on a call. You want to make sure that people are serious and not curious. You don't want freeples getting on the call, people who just want to tell you all their problems. Yes. And they don't actually want to change. Anybody ever met people like that before? You know, when I was working with divorcing Christians, I could just see it ahead of time. I'd be like, I can just tell that your ex was there for a free ride just by looking at them. The way they sit in a chair, I can tell. I don't know how you had to date that loser for 2 years before you figured it out. But anyways, you want to discern quickly. Are they going to do the work? Are they the kind of person that's really going to show up? Are they going to pay the price? Or are they looking for the cheapest way to stay in the same situation? So ask the questions, Leanna. Be willing to, because it's your business. It's your future. You don't want somebody coming into your group environment that's a toxic Tina or a negative Nancy. And any Nancy's or Tina's listening, this is not applying to you if you know me. You want to avoid that situation, girl.
Yes, I do.
Because then they contaminate the whole group. So you're looking, so what could you ask me that relates to all of this? Just think of one question you can ask.
Oh, okay. Regarding her or regarding both people?
Anything you want.
Okay, so this might apply to both people. So I have one person I've been in process with. I think I talked to you about her last week. She's the one that owns the place where I get my massages.
Yes.
And I'm in a place of trying to determine with her, is this another objection that I need to ask her a question about? Or is she a freeple? I mean, she's kind of made it clear on one hand that she's dealing with lack thoughts and she wants something for free. But then I also know she's paid others to coach her. And
right.
So
remember, price is never an objection. Everybody.
Right. And so when I went in, I thought I'd met with her in person and I thought I totally blew the 10-minute. And then I was on the massage table and I was like, what happened? Holy Spirit. He starts telling me, okay, you got to get rid of this fear, this fear, this fear. And then he's like, go back in, go after her. So I left her a message and she responded. And, right now I'm trying to uncover, should I just release her or should I ask her, how do you plan to do that?
Okay, so what
'Cause
outcome is she saying that she wants?
Well, she wants to expand her business, but she's like, I don't want to coach. I just want you to tell me the idea, which even if I did, she's not
Okay,
going
so
to do it without me.
let me just step in here though for a second because I was a business consultant for 20 years, right? So I have a calculus, business, law, pastoral background, right? And if I was going to work with a company, I would be wanting $100,000 retainer.
Yes.
So that may not be your skill set, right? If you don't have that skill set, I don't think I would step into it. If you are, like if she is wanting to explore coaching and creating a business online and that's your jam for now, guys, lean in. Like, yes, in the beginning, yes, you want to receive funds from the fields where God is blessing you, right? So I'm not saying don't do that. I am saying be careful because you want to, when I talk about solving problems at the highest level, you also want it to be an integrity that you actually can solve those problems.
Yeah, I was going to help her I had an idea to help her create an offer that would be like in my jam, where they would create like a weekend experience and I would help her learn how to market and sell it
Right. Well, you have to
and possibly
remember
help her sell it.
in Born to Influence, my system that I created, right?
Right.
That system is guaranteed for her to have an audience go up by 1,400 every month.
Yeah.
Right. But if she, guys, listen, if your prospect doesn't show that they are as excited as you are about helping them, it's not going to work. Right? Like, I have a $150,000 offer. I run retreats around the world in amazing places with a private chef by the ocean. I take people on a yacht for the day. But if somebody isn't going like, oh, that sounds amazing, I'll do whatever to be there, you're just going to be convincing her. You're just going to be pitching at her. Pitching and convincing doesn't work. Asking questions to uncover what's important to her. So go back to the drawing board, Leanna. Anyone, right? Because this could also take you off your plan. This is why my VIP is so expensive, because I am not going to invest in somebody who's not going to immediately take action. I just won't. I just absolutely won't. I'm not interested in working with anybody who won't implement quickly, because what I do works and I have tons of proof. So I'm just not going to waste my time. You guys want to be careful that in your first year, so this is called the 5 1s. In your first year, you're going to focus. Somebody put focus. The Bible says, what's it called? Set your face like flint. You got to set your face like flint. You get so distracted. You go, oh, I'm going to help this person. Oh, I'm going to go rescue a cat. Oh, I'm going to go to church and volunteer for some stupid thing. I'm sorry, there's lots of great things at church. I know Matthew helps with the kids ministry and a lot of other things. So I'm not saying there aren't great things at church. But you get what I'm saying. Would I go and volunteer to bake brownies at church? No, that would be really not a good use of my skill set. Are you guys with me? So this is what we do because we're too afraid. Somebody put afraid. We're too afraid that we might be powerful. We're not afraid that we might suck. We're afraid that we might be powerful. And so you've got to give yourselves a year to set your face like flint and not be working with all different things. Lay aside every weight that so easily besets you. And take 1 year with one product. What's your one product, guys? 1 year. What's your one product going to be, Leanna, for 1 year? Everyone else, what's your one product? Put it in the chat. We want one product.
I'm helping business owners, primarily coaches, create and sell amazing offers that are premium.
Right. So premium level offers, right? So you're going to be working with low volume, high value. And if any of you are not at $100,000 yet or $1 million yet, you have no business doing a low value $27 offer. Once you have an audience and you've got proof of concept and you've sold high ticket, then you can go wide. But we start deep because you can't leave a job on a $27 offer. Just paying your staff to manage all the nonsense would have you bankrupt. So you got one product. You've got 1 year. You've got one, and when I say you've got one target market. So you want to be really clear. If you go in to work with this woman, see, I wouldn't. If a company called me right now and said, will you come in and do X, Y, Z? I know that it's just going to be just a drain on my energy, a drain on my time. My Kingdom Sales Academy is $50,000. It's a group coaching offer. Why would I go to a company and wait for their staff to get it? Like it just wouldn't be a good use of my time. Now I'm going to be going global for my 2 apps, and they'll be used by hospitals and companies all over the world. Right? So you want to use wisdom. What season are you in, Leanna? What season are you in, Tamika?
I'm in
what
the
season are you in?
first year.
Right. Okay, so you're going to choose one conversion tool. And you use one traffic source. This is your first year. Now, after this, you can branch out. Right? You got 1 year, you got one product. So maybe you have a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25K offer. You focus on that. One target market. Who are you serving? Be very specific.
Primarily female coaches.
Right. So Kingdom coaches who have an offer of a certain amount. You've got to decide what that amount is, Leanna.
At least 5K.
And I would choose somebody who's sold it before. If you have somebody who's never done anything, that is the longest learning curve to get to the earning curve. Somebody who sold it before, who maybe doesn't have their price, haven't priced themselves properly. Right?
Okay.
There's many ways that you can increase, right? You can have increase through lead generation offers, right? Conversion offers. Like if you just increase conversion rates, I know that my app will increase conversion rates and find sales that people are missing, even the top people in the world. I'm going to present this to Myron Golden because I know he's missing out on at least $1 million of sales every month.
That's cool.
Okay. So if I can add 30 to 50% without even changing your leads, but if I can help you change your leads, go from say 100 to 200 a month, we've doubled that. If you just increase, you see, there's many ways to skin a cat. Okay. Go back to your conversion tool and your traffic source. Your conversion tool is either ads. Whoops. I don't know what I just did here. Team, can you help me undo? If you switch to ads, to organic, to ads, my thinking is, and follow my system, you can get to 1 million just organic. Everyone. You can do 1 million in sales just organic. It's
I
possible.
see that.
So now you do need a system, right? So you want to do organic or ads, but choose one and one traffic source. You're going to choose Facebook, or you're going to choose Instagram, or you're going to do YouTube, right? Whatever it's going to be, you choose one. If you don't have people working for you, how are you going to post on all platforms and collect all that data every single day and start Sell by Chat with everybody every day? Can I get a witness here in chat?
I feel that.
Right? Right? You're going to want to have one. These are the 5 ones. Everybody write it down or take a screenshot. Okay? I give away my best because I know that if you only see my best all the time, you know that when you work with me, it's even going to be better. Amen, Leanna?
100%.
Right? Come on, girl. So do your Sell by Chat, everybody listening to Leanna. Do a system. Have a chat flow. that's proven. You're wanting to get to the place where you're doing the calls. Hold them lightly, right? Instead of thinking, "Oh, I finally got somebody." Have 20 calls where you're the advocate every week. 20 10-minute calls, and then I have a proven system on how to close the sale before the strategy call. You should close the sale. You don't maybe have the cash in yet, but you should close the sale before the strategy call. Never get on a strategy call that you haven't closed the sale on. If you're doing 20 calls a week, 10-minute calls, you're an advocate. You're just following a script, which I have. You're following the script. You're not acting like a scripted person. You care deeply because you're an advocate. Doesn't that feel less salesy, guys? You're really seeing, like, I really care about you. And you talk about them. You uncover what's important to them. Out of 20 calls, Leanna, focus on getting the numbers right now. Everybody, you've got to do the reps.
Okay.
Out of 20 calls, 10 we're going to go to a strategy call. Give yourself some time because you're going to need to uncover a whole lot of stuff between the 10-minute call and the close, and you won't be sophisticated and fast at it yet. You may need a week. If you're already being trained by me, then you have all your assets. You know exactly what you need to do. It'll go to a strategy session. Out of the strategy session, out of 10, founders usually close 8. But if you're still learning sales skills, remember again, going iterations up to the level of mastery in sales, you'll maybe close 5. But even 5 at a 5K offer is still 25K. And that, my friend, is a very good way to learn how to become. Instead of sitting on your back porch, not you, Leanna, but everybody, lean in to do the chats, lean in to connect with people, lean in, and you're going to find that the money is there. So come up with your system first, Leanna. Think about what are all the conversations, what are the questions that you need to ask, right? Like I would ask somebody a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to know, is it a now thing? You want to know, you know, without, you don't say, can you afford it? But you'll ask questions like, tell me about what you're currently doing. They will tell you about their family. They'll tell you about they're married and they make a certain amount of money. They'll be able to tell, you can tell. If somebody's an accountant and a teacher, you can just look that up on the internet to find out how much their household income is. Are you guys catching this? Right? You backdoor it to find out all these questions and get them answered. So you need to know, are they coachable, likable, and can I afford your services before you get on the 10-minute call? And in the 10-minute call, you are going through my process to assess, not impress. Somebody put assess, not impress. And be an advocate for them because you don't know if they are actually going to be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If somebody's rebellious and difficult and blaming people on the 10-minute call, what are they going to be like when they're in your group?
Probably a narcissist. Don't want to work with them.
Right. But even if they're not a narcissist, they're just showing already that they don't take
Yeah.
responsibility, right? They're not accountable, right? You want people that are going to play well with others, right? You want them to be able to hold space. Look at everybody here is so attentive to what you're going through right now, Leanna. And I've got to close out because I teach in a couple of minutes. Is this helpful, Leanna?
So helpful. Thank you.
You are
I
so
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You bet you, girl. Well, write out some of your wins, guys, that you've had from today. Post it in the Kingdom Millionaire. If you have questions, if you need help, reach out. But please, take these things to heart. Be patient with yourself, but know that these are godly principles. When you follow godly principles, you can't help but be successful. All right. Love you guys. Going to hand it back over to Matthew.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone so much for being here. This was an amazing session. So yeah, again, reminder, the Sell More Offers Challenge is happening this Monday to Friday. It's a 5-day challenge. And it's a really great week to take action with Coach Heaven. So if you want to join and you haven't joined before, the link is in the chat. We would love to have you be a part. But that is all for today. Thank you all so much for being here, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.